What if I told you that the fact your fears keep coming true is actually a sign of how much influence you have over your own life? Seriously, let that sink in for a second. The fact that your deepest anxieties, those nagging worries that keep you up at night, seem to show up in reality isn't a curse. It's not proof that you're broken or doomed. It's evidence that you're an expert at turning a thought into an experience. The only problem, you've got your incredible power aimed at the wrong target. For so many of us, it feels like our fears have a fiber optic connection to reality, while our dreams are stuck on dial-up. We want success, love, and happiness, but we keep getting stuck in cycles of, I knew it was too good to be true. This isn't some cosmic joke, it's a matter of psychology. There are hidden mental patterns and deeply ingrained survival instincts running your life on autopilot, and now they're programmed to scan for danger. Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Sharice Jandel. If you're here with me today, you're in a space dedicated to self-improvement, profound mindset shifts, and truly elevating your entire life from the inside out. This is where we learn to grow, to heal, and to align with our highest, most radiant version of yourself. And I'm so genuinely grateful that you've chosen to spend this sacred time with me. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on this entire process while we'll explore the surprising psychology behind why your fears seem to come true with such terrifying efficiency. More importantly, I'm going to give you concrete blueprint to reclaim control, take your finger off the panic button, and consciously aim your focus and behavior at the life you actually want. It's time to stop building your nightmares and start engineering your dreams. Does this sound familiar? You're heading into a huge job interview, but for days a little voice whispers, you're not qualified, someone else is better, you're going to blow it. You try to push the thoughts away, but they stick. The morning of, you're a wreck. You walk in, your handshake is clammy, your voice is shaky, and you just can't articulate your wins with confidence. You don't get the job, and the first thing you think is, I knew it. Or maybe it's in your relationships. You meet someone amazing, but a past betrayal has left a scar. You start to feel fear they'll leave, just like the last person. You find yourself needing constant reassurance, questioning their motives, and your fears make you act clingy and suspicious. The pressure builds, the connection strains, and eventually they pull away. And there you are alone, thinking, see, no one ever stays. This isn't bad luck or a cruel twist of fate. It is just a textbook definition of a self-fulfilling prophecy, one of the most powerful principles in psychology. A self-fulfilling prophecy starts with a false belief, but because you hold that belief, then you act in ways that you are consistent with it, which causes that false belief to become true. You didn't predict the future, you unknowingly helped create it. Let's be crystal clear. This is not magic. It's a psychological feedback loop that happens entirely inside and through you. It works like this. Number one, the belief. It starts with fear. I'm not good enough. I'm going to fail. Number two, the influence on your state. This belief triggers a cascade of internal changes. Your emotional state shifts to anxiety. Your body tenses up, your cortisol levels might rise, and you are quite literally living in the biology of fear. Number three, the change in your behavior. This eternal state then leaks out into the world. The fear of failing makes you procrastinate. The fear of rejection makes you avoid asking for what you want. The fear of not being good enough makes you speak with a tone of apology, not authority. Number four, the outcome. Your behaviors produce a result. The procrastination leads to a missed deadline. The avoidance leads to a missed opportunity. The lack of confidence fails to inspire trust. And number five, the reinforcement. And here's the most insidious part. When the fear comes true, you don't think, wow, my anxious behavior created that. You think I was right all along. This reinforces the original belief, making it stronger and more likely to run the same program again. You end up living inside an echo chamber of your own fears. You whisper a fear and your actions cause the world to shout it back at you. The problem is, what this creative process never stops. Your focus, emotions, and beliefs are constantly sculpting your reality through your behavior. But for the most of us, this process is unconscious. So for the first step to understand why is the brain's default setting so often tuned to the frequency of fear? If you feel like you're fighting a losing battle against your own mind, you are not wrong. You are up against millennia of evolutionary programming. Understanding this isn't about making excuses. It's about knowing your opponent so you can learn to operate the machine instead of letting it operate you. Your brain's number one job is not to make you happy. Its primary directive is to keep you alive. Your brain is a survival machine. For your ancient ancestors, survival depended on being hypervigilant to threats. The rustle in the grass wasn't a mindful moment with nature, it was a potential predator. The ancestors who were a little more anxious and a little more likely to assume the worst, they were the ones who survived. They passed on their genes and their hypervigilant brain, wiring all the way down to you. You've inherited a legacy of fear. It's a feature, not a bug. This leads directly to a phenomenon known as the negativity bias. Researchers have found that for the human brain reacts more strongly to negative information than to positive information of equal intensity. You could get 10 compliments and 1 criticism. And what will you obsess over? The criticism. Your brain is like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. So, when you have a fearful thought and a hopeful thought, your brain by design latches onto the fear with more intensity. You're fighting against your brain's natural protective but deeply outdated default setting. Fears are so potent because they are never just thoughts. A thought like the sky is blue is neutral, but a thought like I am going to lose everything detonates an emotional bomb in your nervous system. Fearful thoughts are drenched in powerful emotions, anxiety, dread, and terror. Your brain doesn't just process information logically, it prioritizes it based on emotional significance. An emotionally charged fear gets a high priority tag. It commands your attention and hijacks your focus. Think of your attention as the CEO of your mind. A neutral thought is a routine memo. An emotionally charged fear is a security guard bursting in, screaming that the building is on fire. All other business stops. This is why you can try to think positive all you want, but a single powerful fear can cut through all of it. It has more emotional mass. It's the loudest, most urgent channel, and the rest of your system is designed to tune in. Now, we go to the subconscious. Think of your conscious mind as the captain of the ship deciding on a destination. The subconscious is like the massive crew in the engine room, actually running the ship. The captain can scream full speed ahead to the dream island, but if the crew has a different map, a different set of instructions, they will steer the ship according to the plans they've been given. Your subconscious gets its instructions from repetition and emotion. Every time you repeat a fearful thought, you are handing a new set of instructions to the crew. You are training your subconscious to accept this fear as truth about your world. So how does this work? It works through you. When your subconscious accepts a belief like, I am not worthy of love, it influences your micro behaviors to align with that truth. It might cause you to subtly break eye contact or alter your posture to be more closed off. These are tiny actions you aren't consciously choosing. They are the engine crew steering the ship. Other people pick up on these signals, and so your reality begins to conform to your subconscious beliefs because of 1,000 tiny subconscious driven behaviors. You've probably heard the phrase, The brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. That's not entirely accurate. Your brain definitely knows you're sitting in a chair imagining something. However, and this is the critical part, the emotional and the psychological response can be nearly identical. When you vividly imagine your worst case scenario, your heart can race, your palms can sweat, and your brain can release stress, hormones like cortisol. Your body believes it's in danger. You are putting your body into a state of stress with your thoughts and training it to live in the reality of your fear long before it ever happens. The final nail in the coffin is a cognitive shortcut called confirmation bias. This is your natural tendency to search for, interpret, and recall information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. Once you believe, I'm always broke, your conscious mind puts on special glasses that filter reality. These glasses highlight everything that proves the belief is true while ignoring or dismissing all evidence of the contrary. You'll obsess over every bill, but might completely overlook the fact you've never missed a rent payment or that an opportunity to earn extra income just appeared. This creates the ultimate self-reinforcing loop. Your fear becomes a belief. Your subconscious behaviors create a reality that matches it, and your confirmation biases filter that reality to only show you the parts that prove you were right all along. It's the prison of perception, and escaping it requires you to consciously take back the controls. Okay, take a breath. If you're starting to see these patterns in your own life, and if the part of you is ready to say enough, then do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We've just dissected the why. Now we're about to pivot to the how-to. We're moving from the problem to the solution, and you won't want to miss these practical steps. We've seen the psychological machinery that so efficiently brings our fears to life. It can feel daunting, but the existence of this machine is the very proof of your influence. The system works. You just need to become the conscious operator. This is the three-step process: becoming the watcher, the author, and the architect of reality. The first step is to stop being a prisoner of your mind and start being the watcher of it. You are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness that is aware of them. The moment you can observe your thoughts, you reclaim your power. The primary technique here is a strategy I call name it to tame it. It's simple but profound. The next time that a familiar wave of fear washes over you, your job is not to fight it. Your job is to simply notice it and label it calmly and without judgment. You might say to yourself, there it is that I'm not good at. Or, interesting, the fear of scarcity is showing up again. What does this do? It creates space between you and the observer and the thought, the object, and the space that lies in your power of choice. You're taking the thought out of the driver's seat and putting it into the passenger seat. Practice this relentlessly. Become curious about your mind's patterns. You cannot change a pattern you are not aware of. Become the watcher. Step 2. Once you've created some space, you can begin actively rewriting the mental scripts. You're no longer just watching the play, you're picking up the pen. Affirmations get a bad rap because simply saying, I am a millionaire, when your bank account is overdrawn, feels like a lie. The secret is to reframe them so they are believable. Instead of jarring statements like, I am perfectly confident, try an empowering process-oriented version like, I am the process of building unshakable confidence. Instead of, I am in a perfect relationship, try, I am open and ready to attract a healthy, loving partnership. These work because they are conscious commands that interrupt negative thought loops and cast a vote for a new belief. Getting your thoughts onto paper brings clarity and intention. Take this a step further with scripting. Find a quiet, time and write about your goal in vivid detail, but write it in the past tense as if it has already happened. But don't just write, I got the job. Write the story. I can't believe it. I woke up this morning for the first time today. I remember walking into this beautiful office. My new boss greeted me with a huge smile. I sat down at my desk and I felt this profound sense of peace and accomplishment. I did it. Yes! The psychological mechanism here is profound. You are forcing your brain to stimulate the experience and generate the emotions of having achieved it. Pride, joy, and relief. You are creating an emotional blueprint for your future. This brings us to visualization, a practice used by elite athletes and performers in every field. This isn't magic. Neuroscience has shown that when you vividly visualize an action, you activate many of the same neural pathways that are used when you physically perform it. You are in essence rehearsing for your future, but it must be a full sensory and emotional experience. Close your eyes. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you smell? Most importantly, anchor it all in emotion. Feel the swell of pride, feel the profound calm, and you are conditioning your brain and body to be familiar with the emotional state of your future reality. When your mind and body are already living there emotionally, your behaviors will naturally start to align. This final step is the most important. Mindset without action is just sophisticated daydreaming. After becoming the watcher and the author, you must now become the architect. You must build your dream in the real world. This is where we talk about inspired action. This is different from the frantic, stressful hustle. Inspired action feels different. After you've aligned your mindset, you need to listen. The intuitive nudges, the sudden ideas, the opportunities that appear. Inspired action is often the next logical small step. Want to start a business? The inspired action might be to simply buy the domain name or have one conversation or spend 1 hour on research. Each small action you take is a powerful signal to yourself. It's a declaration to your subconscious mind that you are serious. For every action is a piece of evidence for your confirmation biases that say, see, I'm the kind of person who goes after their dreams. This builds a new positive feedback loop. The belief, I am capable of achieving my dream. The inspired action, you take one small aligned step. The result, you get a small positive result. The reinforcement, the small wins generates feelings of confidence, which powerfully reinforces your belief that you are in fact capable. This creates an upward spiral. Belief fuels action, action creates results, and results strengthen belief. This is how you consciously build a new reality. We began with a simple idea that your tendency to see your fears come true is actually proof of your influence. We've dissected the psychology behind why that influence so often defaults to fear from our ancient survival instincts and the negativity bias and to the potent combination of the subconscious programming and confirmation bias. But we didn't stop there. We laid out a blueprint that can reclaim to power, to become the watcher, creating space from your thoughts, to become the author, rewriting your mental scripts, and finally to become the architect, translating your inner vision to outer reality through inspired action. The system of creation is always working. It is impartial. It will build whatever you feed it through your focus, beliefs, and behaviors. The difference is your conscious participation. The journey isn't about eliminating fear. Fear may always be a passenger. The journey is about taking its hands off the steering wheel. You are a creator. You have been creating your whole life. The question is no longer if you create the reality. The only question left is what will you choose to create next? Now, I want to turn this over to you. The first step in changing a pattern is declaring your intention. In the comments below, share 2 things. What is the number 1 fear that you are now committed to stop fueling? And what is the number 1 dream that you are going to aim your incredible power at instead? Writing it down makes it real, and your story might be the exact spark someone else needs to see today. And of course, if this video gave you value, please hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this, and subscribe for more deep dives into mastering your mind and consciously creating your reality. Thank you for watching.